My name is Eric, and I'd like to welcome you to Vibes Coffee. We pride ourselves on fresh coffee and excellent customer service, but we are much more than that. Whether you want to hang with a few friends, get some work done, or experience the best brew downtown Columbia has to offer, visit us at 622 Canal Side Street. Come for the coffee, stay for the vibes.
As I was doing that, another car was coming forward towards me and hit me forward, and I flew out the windshield of the car. I broke my spine. I broke my left femur. I broke my left wrist. They had to sew my head back together. I had brain surgery here. I tore the aorta in my heart, so I had heart surgery. And I had a stroke after they closed my head up. So I had to learn how to walk and talk and everything all over again. I was in the hospital for a month, but I forced myself out because I don't like doctors. I don't like hospitals. They told me I had to learn how to walk to get up out of there, and I got myself up and running through, like getting on through just to go, and I wasn't even ready.
Welcome back to another episode of the Shift Podcast. I'm super excited to be sitting in front of you in your houses, in your cars, wherever you are. This video is sponsored by Vibes Coffee, 622 Canal Side Street, Columbia, South Carolina, where coffees and conversations are all happening in the same place. But today I have another guest I would love to introduce you to. Let's read her bio. Today I have the honor of sitting down with Chandera Mitchell, a woman whose story is filled with strength, survival, and faith. Growing up with instability, moving through different schools, witnessing pain at a young age, getting married in 2016, finding the courage to leave in 2019, to surviving a life-changing accident, becoming disabled, facing homelessness while pregnant, and still finding joy through God. Her journey is powerful, and today as a family, as a Shift family, we get an opportunity to listen to it. How you doing, Ms. Mitchell?
I'm good.
What you think about that introduction?
I like it. I was over here trying to feel it. Like, wait a minute, what I said? Okay, yeah, okay.
When you look back at your childhood, what is the first thing you remember feeling?
Trauma. Not experiencing it, knowing it as a kid, what it was. But when I grew up and understood things in life, how it was, I knew what was trauma. Me just accepting it because, growing up, as a kid, everybody say you gotta accept everything because you're a child. You can't speak up. You gotta respect your elders. You can't say what's wrong with you, basically, when you're growing up, which is something I done broke in life because I want my kids to understand that it's okay to speak, whether it's to me or if it's someone, just speak, please, somebody. Yeah. But I really always lived my life happy for me. Like, from a child growing up, I remember happiness, and it really was because of me. I made myself happy. I did things to be happy in. Whether it was trauma, I made happiness out of it. So
when you talk about trauma, what are some things early on in your life from you growing up in the house with your mother or father?
I didn't grow up in the house with my mother and father. That was the trauma. I didn't grow up with my father at all. It was just my mom. Very unstable though. So it was here and there, everywhere. I went to different schools. I grew up with different families, but mostly, you don't call people that's, what is it? They say blood thicker than water, but what is that? When people aren't your blood, they treat you better than family, though. Mm-hmm. So they're really my family, and I'll never deny that ever. I grew up with them, but being a child growing up to realize who your family really was and they aren't is what was trauma as well. Mm-hmm. Trying to learn other people that ain't your family, you calling them family, grandma, granddaddy, uncle, aunties, whoever, cousins, and, but that was what was wrong.
When you talk about not growing up with a father in your household, how did that affect you as a little girl during that age of your life?
It hurt me a lot, you know. I think I didn't get over it until I was older. Like, I wanted kids so bad when I got older because I didn't grow up with that type of love I wanted from even my mother, you know. She may say she loved me, but it's different when you expect the type of love from someone and it's given differently, you know. So I feel like I wasn't give the love that I was expected to give, which I shouldn't have expected. Either way it go, I don't think that it's good to grow up in a traumatic situation. Like if you grow up with a mom, let it be stable. If you grow up with your parents, you know, let it be stable, not unhealthy arguments, everything you seeing. Because even with growing up with my mom, if it was someone in the household with her, it was always trauma because it's argumentative or something going on around wherever. So that's not a good way to grow up. I don't even want my kids to grow up like that now. Like if anybody feel like they want to argue with me in a relationship, it won't happen in front of my children, because that's not how I want kids to grow up thinking that's how this should be reciprocated in life. Like this is how you show somebody you love somebody? No, it's not. So
when you talk about growing up in trauma, but then also going to 7 different schools, how are you able as a kid to do both of those and going through everything that you're going through at home and going to school?
to be honest, I think because my mind is like, it's so roaming. Like even now to this day, I still have the same mind as a kid. Like not the childish way, but the adventurous, and my mind roams. I'm very creative. I always have something different about me that's coming. So it was me. It was just me. You know, it wasn't things around or nothing, because in that time, like I went to church with different people, but I'm a kid, so I don't really know what to understand about it. You know, they had the Bible school for the kids. Some of them didn't teach you what they learned in the church room. They teach you the children way. So I didn't understand that either until I got older and started going myself. I used to fall asleep in church. Not because it was boring, because I was narcoleptic as a kid and didn't even know that until I got older. So I used to be like, why am I always falling asleep? But I end up figuring it out.
When you talk about narcoleptic, to the viewers that don't know what it is, tell them what it is.
Okay, so it's a lot of things that I can't name because I don't know right off the top of my head, but it's a sleep disorder. A lot of people think that it's like sleep apnea, stuff like that. It's similar because they're all disorders, but this one is where you could fall asleep at any moment. Like if I don't take my medication, I could just be sitting here right here talking to you and fall asleep. I'm not that bad, because if I feel it coming on, I'm gonna, try to wiggle out of it, but it can be that bad where I could just fall asleep at a drop of a dome, like driving, anytime, is any moment actually. So I take it when I know I need to take it in most times of my life.
When you talk about having that disability as a kid, not knowing, but also living in a trauma background with your family, what are some things that you end up getting into because you faced those things and you had to grow up early? Like, did you feel like at that given point in your life you had to run away from some things?
I did run away from a lot of things. I ran away from myself too, even though I was still with me. I ran away from a lot of the things and problems that I had within me. Like being a kid, because I had to grow up so fast. I knew everything and could do everything that other kids couldn't do, but I still wanted to be a kid. So it was hard though. It was weird. It was something that I didn't want to experience, but I'm glad I did, because it made me who I am really today though. Everything I went through kind of got me there, because I was not even on a outlook of, how people say, I'm lucky to have this and lucky to have that, or they thankful or however blessed or whatever. I didn't ever feel that way. I just thought that I'm going through what I'm going through because of the bad things I'm doing, not everything I'm doing.
If you're open to sharing, what were some of the things that you was doing at that given time of your life that you thought it was bad?
As young as I was then, now this double digits, this ain't no one digit now. I started drinking early because I used to drink to cover the pain mostly. Didn't know what that was either, but I used to drink because of the trauma I was going through, trying to hide the fact that I was upset or didn't have the life I expected. I started smoking early. I didn't even know what marijuana was, but I was smoking it. I couldn't buy it. I couldn't even tell you what the people would be buying by the gram, saying what to say. I don't even know what them is. You can't even tell me. I can't even call nobody up and say, hey, what is a 1.0? Because I don't even know. But I didn't know nothing. I always was home with older people, so I got access to everything that I wasn't supposed to have access to. You think they told me to stop? No. You think they said, no, girl, you can't do that, you ain't old enough? Nope.
When you talk about all of these things happening to you, would you say that indirectly that you was running but also suppressing a lot of things and you didn't know it, or you would say that you was kind of having fun?
I was having fun in my own mind now, but both, yeah, it was both, because when I got older, you got to see everything on every shoe. You got to see it on both sides. So yeah, it was both, but I was doing it because it did make me happy. It did make me happy. I don't care. It's just like a drug addict or something. Like, I didn't care if I would go broke to buy me something because that's how bad it was supposed to be, you know? Why? It ain't that important. Like, come on, you got other things to do in your life. I wanted to stay with my mom all because anytime I work, I'm gonna keep my money, you know? I didn't wanna go out there and get responsibilities to try to put myself in situations I couldn't handle because I know what I did with my life. So it was like, yeah, I got a good place to go. I ain't gotta pay no rent, no lights, no nothing. I'm good. All I gotta do is put some gas in my pocket and buy me a little bit of weed. And I stayed with me some liquor, some wine, something to drink. So I took care of my habits.
Do you think because you created that type of environment for yourself early on, do you think it affected you later on in life?
It affected me a lot later on.
So before we get to that, I want to flash that, but I want to take you back to 2016.
Okay.
2016 is when you decided to make a decision to get married. Why did you get married in 2016?
Lord. Here I go again, trying to find love, you know, growing up without a dad. You know, they say that about women. When you grow up without a dad, you know, you do whatever for a man, chase after him, whatever. Now, I ain't do the chasing now because I'm too mean for that. But I would stay in a relationship or deal with a lot of things just to keep someone, you know. So this person, I felt like the love was real, you know, because we got to know each other before everything. But he was just a wolf in sheep clothing. Like, he had a mask on. And still to this day, I'm talking about still to this day, he is still the same manipulating, narcissistic person I ever met. And I ain't deal with him in so long. But when I did, it was like a relapse of, oh Lord, I can't do this. I just can't, because it's no need for me to even, you're not even involved in child life or nothing, so I'm gonna leave you where it's at. But that's a shame that you have to keep dealing with that type of stuff, even after whatever you've been through, either way it goes. I thought I was in love, you know, so we went and got married. We went on our own, and then everybody was upset with us. Our family was mad. We ran off and got married. We ran off, we got married. I wasn't pregnant at the time, so we were happy. We came back, let everybody know, and we moved in with my mom. So, you know, she ain't like that. But she couldn't do nothing about it, really, because he was my husband. So she couldn't be like, you got to get him out of here, you know. Because wherever I was, I'm her baby. She gonna take what come with me. So after that, it was shortly like I had a miscarriage in the beginning, and then I ended up pregnant a few months later. So I had another miscarriage. And my son, I guess, well, I ain't gonna say I guess, they said he was a twin. So I lost one early on. And he basically was my rainbow baby. But I got pregnant so fast before anything, you know, it was just like, you know, you can't leave now, really, if anything going bad or going on. So I didn't. But that's when the abuse started, though. I'm talking about the baby wasn't even here yet. The man putting his hands on me. I'm like, wait a minute, nah. Cause I ain't the one that like, I ain't that one. I watched my mama be abused. Let's go back to that when I grew up. That also was trauma because other people that she was with, regardless of the argument, I watched one of her ex-husbands abuse her, literally. So that was trauma too. I don't allow that, not on me. So I fight back. I mean, I don't care. I fight back.
When you talk about living in that space, how long did you stay in it before you decided to say, you know, enough is enough. I know my self-worth, and you know, I'm going to choose to love myself through this world.
Now, I ain't know my self-worth before I left. I'm gonna say that now. I ended up learning that after, you know. But because growing up angry, he made me angrier. I felt like I was gonna kill him or he was gonna kill me. But the goal was for me to kill him because ain't nobody gonna get me. I had kids, 3 of them at the time to live for, and he had ones he ain't care for. So you think that I'm gonna let you get me? I ain't doing it. So I had to go. I'm like, my baby, he wasn't even 1 yet. And I was just like, I can't do this. But I stayed. I stayed for a little bit longer because every time I left, he would follow me. He would stalk me. I had to sneak away. We lived with my uncle at the time, God rest his soul. He just died last year. So we was living with him at the time because nobody wanted us to live together because he was abusive. So they didn't want me at their house because he had to come with me. I'm family, everybody, nobody. So my uncle let us come there. And I went and grabbed, I was the only one working at the time. So I went and grabbed, every time I got off work or something, I would go and grab clothing and go to my sister's house with it. So every time he would come, he wouldn't know. But I would be there now. I would still be there. But once I finally got everything that I wanted to take, I finally left. When I left, he came to her house stalking me. I'm talking about going, looking through her windows, everything. Everything. And that was the last time he attacked me, when it was daytime. And he came there and he like, can I speak with you? And I stepped out on the porch. As soon as I stepped 1 foot out the door, he grabbed me by the throat and choked me out. So I passed out on the porch. I woke up, he was slapping me woke. I don't know what he was saying, but he was slapping me woke. Right. So my sister came, she heard, you know, something going on. She came running out the door, jumping on him. So when I came to and I got up swinging too, because who? When I hit him, he goes to crying, bending over, telling me I just hit him. Like he ain't just choked me out. Where they do that at? I don't know. But God was on my side because he done choked me out plenty of times before. But that time, it was just a different time.
Do you feel like that in that season of your life that you had to fight rather than, you know, calling for help? Or do you feel like you were strong enough to handle it on your own?
No. Well, I'm going to say, I can't cuss or nothing.
You can be you.
Okay.
Be you.
I ain't no police asshole, okay? So I wasn't calling the police because I am the type of person that can handle my own, you know. But I got family members that will put him down, you know. But I'm not that person. Like, if I know I'm going to stay, I'm not putting my people in it because we had a whole child together, for one. And then if y'all hurt him and I go back and you in jail, I'm not that one. So I didn't never put no one in it. No one even knew that I was going through what I was going through but my mom and stepdad at the time and my sister because I had to leave my mama's house to go to hers. Nobody knew. The people that would do something to him, they didn't know nothing. And I made sure that everyone did not tell because I stayed. But when I left, you think I cared? Baby, go get him. But no, I was through a stage now. Is no need because I'm gone. God gonna deal with him. It's okay. And God still dealing with him to this day. I'm talking about, ooh, Lord.
When you talk about that season in your life and kind of going through those things, what did that marriage teach you about yourself and how to be able to finally walk away after all those years?
Then it ain't teach me nothing because I still was doing the same things in different relationships. However, it did teach me don't ever get married again until you get to know a whole person. That's why I never did it. I didn't want to have any more kids after that at all. Like, I put that down, and I didn't at all. I didn't plan none. I didn't none of that. So I stuck to my word on it. I was not going to get married again. Like, it just taught me that not to deal with abuse as well, because I wasn't. You could try to argue with me any kind of way, I'm gone, because I ain't finna deal with this. It's going to go from this to that, and I know me. I ain't the type of person that'll keep my hands to myself. Now I keep my hands to myself. I do now. But back then, you're going to get hit because I was already in this toxic relationship. So I don't want to go from that to this, and then I'm still fighting people.
Do you think at that season of life, you was going through so much pain, you was coping, and you was drinking in that season of your life? Do you think, that was another foundation to you constantly drinking?
Oh, yeah, it was because I end up in a relationship with a best friend of mine. He's been my friend since I was 9 years old. So I felt like because he knew me and knew everything about me, that was just perfect, right then in that moment, everything was good, So he was a drinker. I'm talking about real heavy. So that wasn't nothing. I ain't do nothing but upgrade from them little wines and little, with them screwdrivers or whatever, them little Smirnoffs they sell at the store can. Yeah, I upgraded from that to big old Smirnoff Cervecas and tequilas and big bottles, okay? Talking about 64 ounces. That's what we upgraded to. So I was worse off. Now I'm drinking hard liquor, not all day, because I worked, but when I'm off, it is turn up time, okay? And that's about 6 o'clock. So we turned up all day, all night. I'm all night long, every day. Not on the weekends, not on holidays, every day. So it was just like, okay, now I'm getting used to stronger alcohol. In that relationship, I ended up burning myself. Grease burn, because we got in a little argument and I was not arguing back, but it was a drunk moment. So we're arguing and he did pour pickle juice on my head. That's what it was. And like I already had said, I ain't the one. I got a whooping on him, So he never put his hands on me ever before, ever. But pickle juice is hands. I don't care. It's just like spitting on me. It's anything. I don't care. Don't do nothing to provoke me. And he did. So I got up. I was swinging on him, and he was over there making. He was finna make some fries. I guess he forgot the grease was on too, cause why you bothering me when you need to be frying your fries? Yeah. I'm swinging on him, and he's trying to stop me. And as I'm going, I'm fast. So he was trying to get me, and we collided hands, and I stumbled back. And my elbow hit the pan, and all the grease flew all on me, all on the whole right side of my body. So I didn't even go to the hospital or nothing that day. I just got all my stuff up out of there, got my sister to come get me, the same sister house I went to when I got separated, actually. So I got her to come pick me up, and I took everything and left the relationship. I didn't go to the hospital that night. I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning, and the boils was all over my body. And I went the next day. So when I went to the urgent care, they said, there's nothing they could do for me. I had to go to the burn center in Augusta. And I was like, I started crying then. They was like, you wasn't crying all this time. Now you want to cry.
Yeah, that's what I'm finna say.
Right.
How that hot hit your skin and
drunkenness. When you drunk,
you was drunk.
I'm talking about, that's how people that be with them, the drunk driving people that be hurting themselves or killing people and stuff, and they still be alive. That's why the tolerance. Alcohol is a tolerance. I'm talking about, it keep a mug alive. And I be like, ooh, the car went like this, that, anything. What?
Wow.
But It's always been tolerance.
Did you think after you got done being drunk and now you had to go to the burn center, in Augusta, Georgia, my question now and then becomes, while you're crying and you're facing this in your life, do you ever think that, like, I have to change my life because this is like, look what just happened to me. Like, it's messing my body up. The drunkenness is messing my body up.
Not then, because all I did was blame him, really. I didn't blame me being drunk. I blamed him for starting the argument and having the grease on and not paying attention to it. I didn't blame it on the drunkenness at all. So no, it didn't teach me no lessons, because that was 2020, and I had 2 surgeries. I ended up going back to him 2 months later.
When you talk about you had 2 surgeries because of you
The
getting hurt?
burns. I had to get cadaver skin put on everywhere. So when they took the cadaver skin off, well, that was the first surgery. So when they took the cadaver skin off, my back, they said the skin had merged in so badly they had to go in and what is called graft. So they had to graft me. They didn't. So when they got in there to get the other skin out, they ended up not having to graft me. So that was a good thing. They put me under for nothing. But I had to do that twice, still yet. The healing was the painfulest thing, though. The burning wasn't, none of that. The healing was, like, it drove me insane. But it ain't stopped me from smoking my weed. I was out that door smoking it.
So, so when you talk about all this pain that you're going through, you're going through a marriage, you finally get out of that, you meet another guy, you kind of escape, y'all having fun, you believe that he know you the best, and all of these things are happening. Would you say, early on, you said when you were younger that you would go to church, would you say that God is coming back up inside of you through these moments? Or you say, these were the years that I was living?
No, I wouldn't say that those are the years I was living, but in that moment after I got burned, I was like thinking to myself, still ain't getting it right now, but I was in my head, I was like, man, God trying to tell me something, but what is that? What does it mean? At the moment, I didn't know. I was just like I keep doing this. I'm just doing bad stuff. This is karma. I wasn't looking at what it could have been. So now I'm still going. I'm still drinking. I'm still going. I can say, that was 2020. So 2021, I had hit a tree in an argument with the same person, drunk. Didn't go to the doctor till the next day. Right.
So everything in your life began to start happening because drunk. Did you think that your grace was running out?
I thought, after that I did. And I was just like, I didn't slow down though, but I was trying to do better with my life. Like trying, trying is a step. So I was trying to do better with my life, just a little bit. Now, I ain't stopped drinking, but I went down back to wine because I finally had left the relationship and I didn't have that all the time. So I went back to wine and I would drink the whole bottle.
But why? Why didn't you stop?
That deep down, I guess it's that deep down inside trauma me living from. Like I didn't never heal from anything at all. Like I just moved on, just kept going because I'm the strongest one. Like I am the strongest. So I just felt like I could put this behind me and keep going, and not look at it like this is teaching me a lesson. I'm looking at it like I got through it so I can get through anything else. That was me. I felt like I was invincible. Like I always used to brag about how I never broke a bone in my body. I didn't used to skin up my legs. Like when I played, I was a tomboy. I used to climb trees, jump fences, everything. I never skinned up my legs. I never broke a bone. I never did nothing. Everybody else had stitches. Oh, stitches too. Never had that. They didn't have stitches and staples and everything. Never as a kid, never. So I used to think that I was invincible. I swear. Just like that guy, Bruce Willis, off that movie, Invincible. I think that's what it was called. Him and Samuel L. Jackson. I felt like I was him.
I want to spring you forward a little bit because you said that you was invisible, but with you being invisible, life happened in 2023, which is what, 2.5, 3 years ago?
Yep.
Tell me what happened in 2023.
Okay, now we still on this drunk stuff. But in this exact moment, I did slow down more, but I realized after this accident, I realized that when I'm angry at something and like anything I'm going through, if it upsets me, I'm gonna drink. That's my go-to. So, excuse me, I had a altercation with my mom. This is what I can't remember who told me, but this is what someone told me. I gave my family or something. My mom had to tell them because I don't remember nothing from the accident, before the accident. I don't remember nothing. But I'm going off what people said, what she said and how it went. So they said that we obviously had an altercation, not fight, but like, verbal, going back and forth about something. But it always is about my son, my youngest son. Like she treat him different from all my kids. Well, all my kids she treat different. My oldest one is her favorite. She treats the rest of them like whatever, like she ain't got other grandkids. Yeah. And that's fine with me. It's just like they dad's not around. I don't care. That's fine. I'm not forcing my kids to be in no, what did they call it? The genetic cursely thing. I'm not forcing that. If they don't even want to be involved with you, I'm not forcing my kids to be involved with you because you're not trying to be involved with them. It's not their fault that they're here, for one, and they can't drive to you. Yeah. So, whatever. Now, they said we had a little argument and I got to drinking. I don't know what was planned the next day, what was supposed to happen, but I was drinking. I went to drinking and I left home to try to relax, I guess, calm down. And I was on the way back home and it was late. Me being a narcoleptic, I know my medicine wore off and it's time for sleep. So I fell asleep at the wheel, and alcohol is a trigger to it as well. It'll put you to sleep faster when you're narcoleptic. So me being out late like that and coming in, I was trying to make it home because I felt the sleepiness coming. So I was almost there, actually. Not almost, like about 5 minutes, but I was almost there. So I was on the way, I fell asleep. They told me that I hit the side rail, and then my car spun around facing traffic. So cars are coming towards me and I'm going this way, but no one was really coming. It was like 2:00 in the morning, I believe, 2 something. But I was facing traffic. They claim I was reaching down to get my phone to call for help because that's why my seatbelt was off, which kind of makes sense because I always wear my seatbelt off of the simple fact that my sister was in a bad accident when she didn't wear her seatbelt in 2004, and she got thrown out of the car. So I always wear my seatbelt ever since then. Since I was a kid, I've just been afraid, like if I get in an accident, what'll happen. So I always did. Now I had to take it off for some reason. When I get in an accident, I had to get down and find something. However, I don't know. But
my name is Eric, and I'd like to welcome you to Vibes Coffee. We pride ourselves on fresh coffee and excellent customer service, but we are much more than that. Whether you want to hang with a few friends, get some work done, or experience the best brew downtown Columbia has to offer, visit us at 622 Canal Side Street. Come for the coffee, stay for the vibes.
As I was doing that, another car was coming forward towards me and hit me forward, and I flew out the windshield of the car. I broke my spine. I broke my left femur. I broke my left wrist. They had to sew my head back together. I had brain surgery here. I tore the aorta in my heart, so I had heart surgery. And I had a stroke after they closed my head up. So I had to learn how to walk and talk and everything all over again. I was in the hospital for a month. But I forced myself out because I don't like doctors. I don't like hospitals. They told me I had to learn how to walk to get up out of there, and I got myself up and running through, like getting on through just to go, and I wasn't even ready. I got dizzy. I was lightheaded, but I lied and told them I wasn't. Nothing was wrong. I was ready to go home. But I should have stayed there because when I got home, it wasn't nobody there to help me. So why not stay with the nurses? I could beep them all day. Why go home? I can't beep nobody. Ain't nobody here. I fell The first day home, I had to use the bathroom. Me not taking life serious, because I did that one little walk. I couldn't walk. I tried to go to the bathroom and failed. Want to be hard-headed. I didn't wear my diapers. I didn't have my walker. I didn't want nothing. I thought, I got this. I got this. I got up. I tried to use the bathroom, and I couldn't get there, but I had to go so bad. So I scooted to the edge of the bed like this right here, and I peed on the floor. On the bed, yeah, I peed on the floor. Honey, I'm so heavy. You see how I'm falling off this chair? I fell to the floor in the pee. I fell in the pit. I was so mad. I was on the floor. I couldn't do nothing. I was like, oh my God. My phone on the bed. The bed was high. My phone on the bed. I can't get to it. I had the military crawl on the floor to get to the side, to get the phone, to call my mama. I'm like, Mom, I'm on the floor in the pit.
What the heck?
She like, well, you gotta come get me up. I think she went to the store to get me some more diapers, and that's why she wasn't there. But I thought I would never do that again.
When you talk about going through that hard season in your life and, you breaking all those bones, do you think at that given point in life that you start taking it serious now?
Yep. Yep.
Now that was the turning point, what was the initial thought process of you finally getting out of hospital, you rushing home and you saying, I need to change my life?
I didn't say it then yet either. I said this. I didn't see God, but I was somewhere that some people that die are. I don't know this place, but it was so beautiful. And I saw my second child's father, and he was one of my best friends as well. He passed away in 2021. But I saw him and we talked, and I told him that I wanted to stay with him. I wanted to stay. It was beautiful. It was nice. I'm like, y'all having fun up here, wherever y'all at, because y'all having fun. But he told me that I couldn't, I had to come back to be with the kids. And I was just like, why? I want to come on, stay here. I'm here already. Why? I came back, obviously. I thought that was a dream. And I don't dream a lot. So for a long time, I thought it was a dream until I figured out it wasn't. So I was like, the people telling me I was on life support, I was on a breathing machine and all that stuff. I said, so yeah, did I die? And they said, yes, but not for long. What does that mean? If you die, right? What does not for long mean? I didn't know, I didn't understand, but I know that I'm here for a reason. I have a purpose, because I started going to church more then. I try to go more now, but I don't drive really. I try to get someone to take me anywhere I need to be because I can't do the long distance. I get overwhelmed after a while. I'm like, I can't. Let me hurry up and get home, because I can't even grocery shop. I get overwhelmed. I gotta go in the store and get a few things, and I'm let's go. I'm ready to get out of here. It's a lot dealing with this, other than getting myself together to do it. So I put God first on everything. I put him first on everything, because I know that you put me here for a reason, and everything is gonna be okay. So I just keep pushing day to day. What's forgotten, if it's meant to come back, it's gonna come back. And I just try to keep that. I note most of the things, my memory ain't that good, but it's good enough. And it remembers a lot of my trauma. If I try to remember my real good times in my life that were good, I can't remember them. I have to be reminded. A lot of the times, people have to remind me about something that I did that was just so amazing. And I'd be like, but anything that was involve a toxic person, traumatic, or whatever, I remember it all. And that's technically my whole life.
When you talk about drinking has been the foundation of, your life and bad things happening, or bad things happening to you or around you, what would you say to a person that's probably sitting on the couch right now that's drinking and is in pain and grew up in trauma, grew up in everything that you've been through. Like, what would you say to them in this very moment?
Oh, if you don't have nobody to talk to, get therapy. It's easy. Like people with Medicaid, you can get therapy. Even if not, they have a lot of help out here because after my accident, I ended up homeless. I ended up finding out I was 4 months pregnant. So I had to deal with more. I'm homeless and I had a lot of resources once I became homeless. I had gone to a shelter and they was helping me with so much. So shelters can help people with therapy or to get into it. But anything better than a drug, a drink, getting through it is better than turning to whatever, whatever you do that is bad, that you feel is bad. Therapy, I had to take that. Like I had to recently get it again because people think that it's a joke and it's not. It's good to have somebody like that you can talk to that ain't gonna say nothing. And having a God-fearing person that ain't gonna say nothing. That is so perfect for me because it helped me and guide me on trying to keep God in my life, of knowing that it's real, like instead of saying, okay, wait a minute now, how you get this little relapse a little bit of times, you're like, oh Lord, here you go again. But every time something happens to me, I don't try to stress. I don't get upset. I just let it go. And people they be upset with me because I'm letting things go so easily, but I can't hold on to them because God ain't bring me this far for me to do that. I can't. And I don't deal with a lot of people. I don't have friends. I don't, nothing. Because I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm going to go back to the person I don't want to be.
When you talk about being homeless and being pregnant in 2024, what was it like being homeless and pregnant at the same time?
Ooh, Lord, that was hard. Now, I could say this was the first time in my life I ever experienced homelessness, ever. And it made me look at life and say, I want to leave back land and things for my kids, because when I didn't have nobody I could go to, no family side, no mom side, no dad side, like nobody, they didn't do this type of stuff. Leave behind things to have, or you can't go to. People feel like when you're an adult or however, why can't you help them? If they homeless or anything, whatever they going through, especially after something like what I've been through, no one could open their door for me. It was just like, my sister gave me a week. She said she only could give me a week to stay there because, it was too many people in her household. I couldn't get upset about that. That's not my home, Then I went to my cousin's house for a few days, and she let me come because she's that type of person. She's a very good person. So I went there for those 5 days, and she told me about the shelter over and over. She kept saying something about the shelter. So I called them one day, and they had some availability, and I went because when I did want to stay with people, I realized God kept coming to me saying that it wasn't meant. All these doors closing in my face, they didn't want me to live with them. It wasn't because of who I am and they don't want me there. It was because that's not what God had for me. So I didn't look at it like that. I looked at it like, well, why they don't want to help me? I'm pregnant. I'm out here. Like, what? That's because that's not what was for me. So when I went to the shelter, it was the perfect moment for me to touch God more. Like, I was into my word more. I had more time. I put my child into homeschool, so he was on his laptop. They had provided everything for him and everything. So I was on it, and he was the only one I had with me at the time because my two oldest were with their grandparents. So I'm like, boom, good. Just him. I don't have to take him anywhere. Homeschool it is. I got in touch with God so much, so much then, where I started learning that most people aren't meant to be here, because these blessings that are coming to me, this is what God was saying at that time. The blessings that you have coming, they're not supposed to be here for, because they're not going to be ready for them. And I'm the only person that's supposed to be ready for them because they're for me. I can't take these people with me. And I started praying, certain prayers, and I didn't know that it was going to drop certain people out of my life. I didn't do it for that. But when I had looked back on what I prayed, I said, oh, Lord, prayer really do work, Lord. How you be doing this? Oh, don't do it. I don't know what to pray now. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I was scared. I don't know what to pray. Who you gonna drop now? But then I started looking at it like, okay. It was meant for this to happen. I prayed these prayers because, once again, these people are not meant to go with me when I get to where I'm going. I end up losing more people after getting my place after the shelter. I ended up getting a place after the shelter, about 3 months after. And my daughter, I had her a month early, so I had her in the shelter. So it was just so lucky. She was a month old when we moved in our own place, my apartment. When we got there, everything was good. It seemed like more people started wanting to come around a little more. So I started falling back into the trap of where I said I didn't want to be, because I said I didn't care about people being around. You know, that was God. That was my moment. This is God telling me these people ain't supposed to go with you. So don't get excited about these temporary moments that's coming around. I'm getting excited. I got too excited. I got too excited to the fact that when people started leaving again, I was like, oh Lord, I did that prayer again, didn't I? I was like, why? Why are they doing this to me? Why? Then I just stopped saying why. I was like, okay, let me just mentally prepare myself for these blessings, because I'm too busy worried about these people back here who ain't went through nothing I went through. Nothing I went through. To be here with me now when I need to be focusing on what I need to do. So I started doing that more. And that means spouses, family, friends, everybody. I don't care who it was. I was putting me first. And I didn't care who didn't like it, because it was only God's way of telling me that they wasn't meant to be there. If they not accepting of who you turning yourself into, they ain't supposed to be there.
Would you say in that moment you wasn't working either?
Oh no, I was never working. I'm still not working, actually. After my accident, I was disabled. I'm disabled. I'm gonna call it special abilities, because I can work my business, because I do custom make things, but I can't do it now because I'm too busy focusing on my therapy. You know, I don't want to put too much on me that I can bear. So I still got it going, but I don't want to do nothing yet until I get that settled. For those amount of years since I had my accident, I never did therapy. This year is the first year. Well, I did therapy on my leg for like a few months, and I found out I was pregnant and I couldn't go no more. So this is the first time I actually gone for my back and done it for this whole year. So I focusing on me. I was putting my focus on everybody else all the time, what they feel, how they feel, until God started showing me that I need to stop focusing on them and focus on me. So I did that, and things just start happening, like it just getting greater. Like I lived in an apartment 2024 up until just last year, and now I'm in a house, and I'm like, if no one knew where I move after New Year, I don't want nobody to know where I'm at. And now to this day, it might be 5 people that can tell you where I stay. Because I'm good.
I want you to take me back to November 2025 when your ceiling started to leak, and you was struggling in houses, but you believed in yourself, and you believed that, you know, after everything that you've been through, after so many times that you turned your back against God, that He still decided to open the door for you.
Oh my goodness, I had to stop doing that. And I'm gonna say it's turning my back against God, because second guessing that's what it is. You know, that's really what it is, because you should not second guess God at all. When you worry, you're supposed to leave those words right there. You can't be like, oh God, can you help me do this? And then go over there and be like, oh, I'm so worried. No, you have to really leave it right there when you say it, and go on thinking that everything's gonna be okay, because you're gonna know it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna show you. But in that moment, just think it. Just keep that in mind that everything's gonna be okay. And I promise you it will, because once they get there, you're gonna be like, you was right. You was right, God. But now me, let me see. I never believed until after the accident. Like, I went to church, like I said, but I didn't believe. Like I was saved and everything. And I walked around like, oh, I'm saved, so I know God. And that ain't the same either. I had to get in touch, like deep in touch. Look, I'm going off. Because what part of the question didn't I answer?
Take me back to the moment where you finally got a crib and you developed her. And
so now I was applying for places because my ceiling had ended up not falling in yet, but water started floating through my ceiling, like coming down, pouring down. So I had to do an emergency move. And in that moment, I was like, everything gonna be okay, because I already was praying for a house. I didn't know when it was gonna come. I didn't expect it to come that soon either. But I was like, when this lease is up, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted a house for my kids, for them to be able to ride their bikes and be in a yard. And I wanted a guard. I wanted to do all the things that I love to do, be outside. So I applied for more apartments because I couldn't find a house. I went and applied for one of them. They took my money and said something was gonna be available. It never was. Gave my money back finally. But I ended up going to another place. They didn't have nothing. I went to another place. They didn't have nothing. Until one place I went to, and I just saw this house. And I knew it was mine, but I was second guessing, doing that nervousness when I already knew that God told me that was my house when I looked at it on the internet. So I went and I got the keys to the house, but I grabbed 3 more keys and I went and visited one house first. And I ain't like that one. I felt like it was something wrong with it. So we left. And I was like, I don't want to go to no other house. I want to go to the one that I saw because that's my house and I know it is. So let's go. I went. And when I got there, I felt it. It was my home. Like I felt it. When we turned the curve, I was like, oh yeah. So now we get into this house and my soul glowed, like, it was glowing from the inside with happiness, so much happiness. My daughter was even happy. She let my hand go walk around the house like she knew where she was at. So that was it. It was moments before then where I've had the door closed in my face. But I even told people that God got me because I'm God's child and I ain't doing nothing wrong. So I know that everything's gonna happen for a reason. I've let go of the things I need to let go. Watch how God do. Everybody want to keep playing with me. Oh, okay, you got to hurry up. But what about God? I don't need you to think about God right now. And I'm like, well, I don't know who you want me to think about. Because that's all I'm going to think about, baby. I'm sorry. That's all I'm think about. If you don't think about it, you ain't got to think about it. But what happens in my life is all because of God. So that's what I'm going to think about. And that's what I did. So I sat back and I let God do the work. And everything turned out exactly how I thought. So now in my life, I sit back and I let God do the work. When I feel like something need to be paid and I don't got the money right then, I know it's going to come. Regardless of where it's coming from, it's going to come. Because God got me.
How are you able to have that mindset, just knowing that, like, let's just say, for example, right? Let's say that Friday your rent supposed to be paid, but it's Monday, and you ain't gotta have. It's Monday, but Friday right around the corner, right? And it's Tuesday, but Friday your rent supposed to be paid, and it's Wednesday. But like, how are you able to be so subtle and know without a shadow of a doubt that your rent will be paid by Friday, even if it's at 11:59?
Okay. It might not even be paid Friday. It might be paid the next Monday, but they ain't gonna give me the eviction notice until the next Monday because you're gonna know the weekends.
Yeah.
But, however, I ain't gonna say one person. I'm gonna say one thing about me. I don't know about others. Is I already been praising God for years, so I put in my work before I start even asking for things. Because I didn't start asking for things. I started praying for things to be different in my life, for me to become a better person and for things to happen the way they happen. You know, that's what I pray for. So when you do the prayer work and things started showing, that's when you know the faith is real, because I just prayed for this. This was last month, but it happened. So now that I pray all the time, I ain't got to put a time on when it's going to get paid, because I ain't going to care. If it's late, it ain't got to be paid that Friday now. It's going to get paid, though. So I'm still going to be able to stay where I'm at because it's going to get paid. God got me. So when you do prayer work and believe, have the faith, and been through the things to see the difference, I think that's what it is for me. For me.
When you look back on your life and you look at all the stuff that you go through, what is one of the most grateful things that you are grateful for at this very moment?
I'm really grateful for what I've been through, to be honest. Like, it made me who I am. It made me believe. It made me, like, that's really it. I don't want to change nothing that I did different, because it was meant to happen. Everything that I did was meant to be. And I was still happy doing it. Whether it was a happiness that I was trying to find, I was still happy in the midst of it. So I don't regret nothing. Nothing.
What is the biggest lesson that you want people to take away from your story of all the things that you've been through, drinking, abuse, getting into a car accident, getting burned by grease, and, you know, we didn't even really get into it, but having a relapse in 26 when you got into another car accident? Like, what is the biggest takeaway you want people to learn about your story?
I don't want them to take away nothing. You can't take away nothing from my story, because then the story ain't gonna be real. It ain't gonna be right. You know, that's why people can't write my book. I gotta do it myself, because you're not gonna leave out what the most important part is, because you might not even know what part is important. And I don't want nobody to take nothing out. I don't want nobody to take nothing out, because if it's something missing, you might be missing the whole point. The whole point. You never know.
I haven't did this since season 1, but I want you to, this is your camera right here. I want you to look in that camera and really talk to yourself or encourage yourself about the different things that you have gone through in this journey, and what does the next 10 years in your life looks like?
Oh, so wait. Let me start off with, I am proud of you, girl. You made it. You didn't break. You might have bended, but you didn't break. Is that a word? Bend it? You might have bent, but you didn't break. I am proud of you. Everything you've done has been amazing. You finally turned your life around and went to God for everything. Whether you believe then or believe now, you know it's real, and you kept the faith. I am proud of you. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are intelligent. You are gorgeous. And in 10 years, girl, besides the boss that I already am, I'm gonna be way bigger than this. Way bigger than this. Oh, Lord, y'all gonna see me on everybody's TVs and all over about 10 years from now. I got so many businesses and stuff coming. This is about to be a rodeo. A fun rodeo, though. I like riding horses.
Well, I want to thank you for, sitting down with me and sharing your story on The Shift, and, kind of just going through your journey and looking at, how you came up, going through trauma, being burned by grease, been in an abusive relationship, been in a really, really bad car accident where you broke a lot of different bones. But I'm so grateful just to be able to see you today and to be able to sit alongside you and to be able to share your story. So thank you for allowing me to do that.
People be looking at me and I be like, y'all don't know what I've been through. I walk through and I be loud and laughing and happy, and they be looking at me like, what's wrong? I be like, don't look at me like that, girl. God got me. You better back up, girl, back up. But on that relapse, you said March 20th. This year, I was in a little fender bender where somebody backed in the Medicaid van. So it did put me on a little relapse. And I didn't expect to be ready for this day because of it. But because of the things I had to do to get there, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Shift family, for watching this episode. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And remember, 622 Canal Side Street, Columbia, South Carolina, Vibes Coffee, where conversations and coffee are all happening in the same place. Ms. Mitchell, to my viewers, we always say peace. Peace.
Peace. They got good fruit too.
You enjoyed yourself?
Yes.
You enjoyed yourself. Thank you so much.
My name is Eric, and I'd like to welcome you to Vibes Coffee. We pride ourselves on fresh coffee and excellent customer service, but we are much more than that. Whether you want to hang with a few friends, get some work done, or experience the best brew downtown Columbia has to offer, visit us at 622 Canal Side Street. Come for the coffee, stay for the vibes.